So, how was your meeting in Worms?
Actually, it's a very helpful meeting, but to conclusion, we didn't end up with any collaboration.
Oh! yeah, okay. However, this is, we give it a try, right?
Yeah.
So, and if you don't talk, you cannot achieve anything, and
Yeah.
let's say, yeah. That's good.
But
We
sometimes,
yeah.
sometimes to say no is harder than to say yes.
Of course. So it was you. You said no.
Well, actually, both of us. Both of us decided, it's not suitable because the two systems are too different, and her topic, her research topic is so different for us. Yeah, she research about air navigation services economics in Europe, and actually the economic air navigation service economics in Vietnam is totally different regime. We are still in the central planning economy, and in Europe you have the market economy, so totally different.
Totally different.
Yeah.
This is just perfect for the next session. You four guys, ladies and gentlemen, you know all about the six-step method, of course. We have to go through it because this was requested by your training director. And I think this is important, but we always try to adapt and to be as flexible as possible, and therefore I would love to agree with you on a way ahead now. So there are some things I would like to include which I couldn't foresee. The one thing is that Mr. Han told me that there is maybe more than just volume 1, volume 3 document. There is maybe a Southeast air navigation plan or something like this. There is something below the volume 3. The national VATM, or let's say Vietnam National Air Navigation Plan, there's something below. And I found an older version. And then we were talking about the master plan, which is already
Drafted.
at least drafted, if not
Submitted.
almost finalized, yeah.
Well, actually, already submitted to CIA.
Already submitted to CAA, which is a good thing. So what I would love to do is to more focus on your specific needs, right? So we go to the six-step method. I have to do that, yeah. Otherwise, you will tell Ms. Lan, we didn't talk about it, and she will blame me, for that. So we will go through it. But I would love to you to join, and when every step, when we talk about the individual steps, yeah, that we go to Vietnam, and then you say, here we did this and that. I was told that you use this method quite a lot.
Not really quite a lot, but at least I try when I come back from last course.
Yeah.
I already give a presentation to our leaders about six-step method. While in my presentation, I focus on six-step method. That's the way they are doing the master plan. And well, of course, we don't have enough time to really redo everything from the beginning to six-step method to finalize our master plan.
Yeah.
But at least we try to adapt with the six-step method. At least with some last step about the reviewing and something like that.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
So, but that's good enough. If you think it would be of benefit, I would love you to support that. So I will talk about the six-step method, and I will ask you, what did you do then? So within let's say first step, second step. Yeah. Can you do it? And then you tell, and then we talk about it. Okay.
Yeah.
So perhaps you have the master plan with you.
Yeah, we do.
You have. Okay. Then there might be a time during the course when you just bring up your master plan, so that we can focus on your priorities, which will be part of the six-step method, right? On your priorities. And if you are looking for KPIs or whatever it is for these priorities, then we can build on that so that you can take as much away and back home as possible, right? So this is the idea. So that we have some theory, but that we always go to your challenge, right? To your document.
Yeah.
Would this be okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, Mr. Han, sorry again for last night, yeah, but I was very busy. I started working at, I was working at 9:15, then I walked the dog, and at 10:30 I was doing something. Yeah.
We will give our plan on when the next Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday evening.
So we will have dinner on Monday,
Yes.
and then we go for a beer on Tuesday.
And then for examination on Wednesday.
That sounds good. It's a good plan. I love it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Wonderful, wonderful. So you were talking about the document you wanted to share today also?
Yesterday I showed you the new version of APA version 4.
You have it?
Yeah.
Okay. So we could also go over this new version, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Em có cái bản buồn này nhé.
Okay. So would you agree that we go quickly? That we go quickly to the 6-step method? So everybody has understood the 6-step method, which is important, okay? You have a benefit because, or let's say advantage, that you all should know that, okay? We go quickly through it. You will add VATM aspects to it so that we always link to your challenges. Then Ms. Lin volunteered to do a system performance assessment. So that's perfect, that's so nice. So we will choose one, let's say one challenge, one deficiency, whatever it is you want to focus on, and then you do the system performance assessment for us all, okay? And he's a great expert in doing so. He did it last time. So perhaps you'd like to support her in logging in and following her directions.
Okay.
Yeah. Or did you log in already? No.
Log in the internet or what?
Internet, GAMP portal
Gam portal.
to do the spa, right?
Spa.
Spa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, when I was talking about the spa last course, they were thinking of expecting massages and everything, sauna, and I had to. Oh, this was so disappointing.
Em chỉ cần đăng ký bằng mail của em là được mà.
Okay.
What's wrong? And he agreed that APA version 4 and ATM master plan that we follow.
Very good. So we can go quickly over it.
Yeah.
That is all.
Okay. So perhaps we can jump back and forth, right? So because during the 6-step method there will be the reference. We have to look at this document, then we look at this document, so we make it very flexible. Okay. I think this is a good idea. We only have 3 hours left because the group Ms. Lin decided on stopping. Sorry, I refer to you all the time. Mr. Han told me that Ms. Lin is the boss, and so Ms. Lin decided to stop at 12 o'clock today to go for lunch and then to call it a weekend. So, and we always should listen to her ladies. So that's a good one. Okay. That's cool. Okay.
Đây có. Không phải iCar portal. Đây
Có
em gửi
cái
link.
Anspa.
Em gửi link cho em gửi link.
Em tưởng là nó sẽ vào chung được, thế thì em gửi cái của em.
She sent out.
Okay.
Okay, I send the link to her.
Okay, you put the link.
Yep.
That's good. And
Và cái link đấy rồi nhưng ý là tài khoản đăng ký riêng thôi.
Register một tài khoản riêng.
Không, em dùng tài khoản của chị cũng được, chị đăng vào rồi.
Đăng ký gửi.
Dùng email của chị.
Rồi, được rồi mà.
Ý là đăng ký. Đăng ký đâu?
Đợi tí.
yeah,
Yeah, not internet link.
it's not by accident, right? Everything is right the way it is. Okay. Take your time, Lynn. I think you have to register. No stress, no pressure on you. Of course, it's relevant for the examination, so you have to perform quite well. Otherwise, it will be maybe. So the 6-step method. Just to go quickly through it, and Lee, thank you very much for supporting and all the others. So it becomes there will be more meat on the bone, right? So it won't only be theory. That's a good thing. The six-step method is super important, and the six-step method just tells us it must be performance-based. Yeah? Do not, I say it again and again, and all the colleagues know, do not fall in love with a solution, fall in love with a problem. It's not about implementation, it's about performance improvements. Yeah? It's nice to implement something if you do not benefit from it in terms of improvement. It's a waste of time, waste of manpower, waste of money, it's a waste of everything, right? So it's all about improvement, performance improvement. Mr. Hang was super interested in electronic flight scripts yesterday when we went to the ACC, which was a good presentation. He's super interested. I just learned last night that EATM has paused this program. Yeah, okay. So this is a pity, right? Okay, so there will be a good reason for that, right? Of course. But the question is, was it prepared in a way that everyone has understood, yeah, this is important to implement because it's connected to this performance ambition here, right? And we want to achieve this performance ambition. So, and then we need to ask, why do we stop a program? Or why do we stop a project? Yeah? And this happens at every industry, every organization. Yeah? For a good reason, it stopped. And then you may ask, why do we stop? Was the calculation wrong? Do we not relate the benefit to it? We were aiming at it, whatever it is, right? So, okay. Or perhaps you don't have a problem. The people are super happy with paper-based scripts. They are very fast, with everything. Yeah. So there is no need. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But interesting to understand. Maybe there are other reasons. Okay. So the six-step method should help you to prepare the decision. Yeah. To help you make a very performance-oriented decision. So once you have taken the decision, you will go for it. Yeah. You will only pause if there's a real problem. Money is gone, or whatever it is, right? So, but normally you would go for it and just do it. Okay. This is for all those who haven't seen it before. Okay. These are the 6 steps. Okay. And thank you very much again. It will be a nice exercise because Lee and you all will help us to put more content to it. The first thing is to understand what is the scope, what is the context, what are the general ambitions and my expectations, right? So what is the scope, for example? And this was already a perfect example, right? So I went to Worms to have a good conversation with an industry representative or whatever, and we discussed and whatever. And we figured out, okay, the European system, the economic system, the market, whatever, is so different from my back home, right? We cannot come together. We cannot agree on something, for whatever reason. I'd like to be very abstract, okay, for whatever reason. But this is part of the context, right? What is the environment I'm in? Yeah. Will the solution be available, whatever? I have to consider all this stuff, right? So there might be many aspects you have to take into consideration to understand, and obviously your colleagues they made a wise decision yesterday. They said no, that won't be successful. Right? Then the general ambitions to understand where do I want to go. The Global Navigation Plan is all about modernization. It's about innovation, it's about modernization. I want to leave behind all the stuff I have in place for 5 decades or whatever. Even DFS has surveillance radars, 30 years old, with 386 processors and all this stuff, totally outdated. Still working, so we are replacing time by time. This is important for some reason. So, okay. This is step 1. Then step 2 is to understand, and last time we did an exercise, I don't think we do this exercise now, we just had this exercise yesterday, last course, right? To understand what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, what are the opportunities, what are the threats. And you should do this exercise at various levels, okay? And when you do this at various levels, because you have to convince your management, you have to convince your government, whatever it is, CA, whatever it is, right? You do this SWOT analysis at a national level, yeah. You may do it at regional level as well, but at least at national level. And here, it would be very wise to do it just qualitatively, right? Just qualitatively. You would end in the desert if you try to do it quantitatively. So just qualitatively. And then, once you have defined your ambitions and whatever, and you go more into the local areas, like even down to a tower unit or what it is, then you should do it quantitatively. Okay? Of course, important to have the data at hand you need to do that, but this is just to understand. And your colleagues did this in the last course. We choose examples like RTC and others, right? And this is what it's super important. And then step 3 is about real targets and how it becomes quantitatively. Here you need numbers, right? So we go through it. Then we have the step 4, and this is the optimum solution identification. And this is then based on everything you did before, right? Step 1, 2, and 3. So this will be the basis for your identification. And then you think about the possible deployment, and then you assess the results. This is the monitoring part. Yeah. So in everything you do, as we learned yesterday, sorry, I'm riding this horse, right? Electronic flight scripts. This was not done overnight. It was super cost intensively, change management was required, people stood up against it, they didn't want to have it, they came up with examples to provide evidence that they need a paper-based script or whatever it is. So it's really a huge investment in time, in money, in change, in convincing people, and you should have a good idea how much it will benefit afterwards, right? And there need to be numbers. Okay, like less staff needed, people are faster, less errors, yeah? All this stuff. So again, let's go quickly through, and I really love that we agreed on the way ahead now. But please keep in mind, it's about performance, never about implementation. Be very strong, yeah? You are leaders, or at least experts, if you go back, and someone is coming up with a shiny idea, always ask him, what will be the benefit? What will be the performance improvement related to your shiny idea? I love your idea. It sounds so nice, yeah? But what will be the benefit? Yeah? And if there's none, or if you don't have a problem for the solution, say thank you. Let's take it to the whiteboard. Don't forget it, but we won't pursue it now. Okay, this is the idea. Okay? For performance on the communication. So these are the 6 steps. We already talked about it. It will be done at global level by the help of ICAO. You have to do it at regional level. This normally is done through the planning and implementation regional group, the PERC. Did you figure out who is representing VATM or Vietnam at the PERC? I asked last time, but you didn't have the name. You remember that you have the name now of this guy?
You mean the person or?
The person.
At the moment, probably Mr. Hung. Mr. Hung is also reported to the head of Department of Navigation Service of the CIA. So
Okay.
he's representing Vietnam in.
Okay, so I was just, the last time I asked you, and it was difficult to figure out who was it, right?
Yeah.
Now you know.
Yeah.
That's good. And please make sure that you talk to this person.
That person is really hard to talk to.
Why is that so?
Well, I don't know, but he just appointed to that position like some months ago.
Yeah.
3 months ago, right? 3 months ago. And right after coming to power, he already want to privatize our company.
He was a pilot.
Yeah, it was.
He was a pilot.
He was a pilot.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
You okay?
No,
it's not okay.
not okay.
He has the mindset of the pilot and of the airline's operator, so he thinks that the ASB work will be very aligned with airlines, and why airlines and ASB must be different, something like that. So yeah, it's really hard to talk to him.
I understand. So he is like eventually he's like pilot in command.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And that's
The
interesting.
problem is his background is technical, and he learned how to fly, but he not used to a pilot. He is a private pilot.
Yeah.
He's a private pilot.
Yeah, he's not experienced
not
pilot
senior.
actually.
Okay. So his background is a technical background.
Yeah, technical background.
Thì chị
That's
It's
why
xong mọi người private.
his knowledge about
Yeah.
not well.
Technical background is a problem. So you are a problem. Okay, it's a problem. It's problematic to be an engineer, right?
Ông
It's a
đấy không
problem.
phải là phi công.
Perhaps you should have
Ông
engineers.
không phải phi công phương tiện à?
Không.
Ông ở
Perhaps you
đặt
should
nhau
have,
cho khách.
perhaps you should have engineers talking to this guy, because normally they speak the same language.
Next time probably we will try it that way.
Yeah, am I right? So this, whatever it is, you need to talk to this guy.
Yeah.
And perhaps, I'm not kidding. Perhaps, I think it's also about hierarchy and everything, right? So maybe a high or a technical manager, he maybe speaks the same language, and but you need to connect in order to understand what are you doing there, right? And this is our master plan, and thank you, sir, for your time, and maybe, but do whatever helps, right? So you need to stay in contact.
So you mean you must send a technical guy to talk to him?
That's a really strong question.
You mean that we must send the technical guy to talk to him to convince?
No, you know, it's always the same. There is no bad in that, right? When air traffic control officers meet, yeah, wherever they come from Greek or from Japan, it takes 30 seconds, and they have the same language. Yeah, even though they do not speak the same language, Japanese and Greek, yeah, but they meet, they talk a little bit English, and they are echoes, and they have the same signs, you know, the same setup. So they understand. Pilots, the same thing. Engineers, the same thing, right? They recognize, they respect each other because of the professional background, right? And they find the same language. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Okay. Local level again. You have the Ho Chi Minh FIR. You have the Hanoi FIR. I was asked yesterday, there's some standards plan for a course airspace, right? Maybe Ho Chi Minh FIR is totally different when it's about airspace classification as Hanoi FIR, right? So perhaps it would be good not only to go at this more abstract level to look at the Vietnam airspace, yeah, but maybe, okay, what about Hanoi FIR in comparison or different from Ho Chi Minh FIR or something like this, right? Even tower and so on and so forth. Okay. We have to do this, very important. Now, and here I would like to, let's take one example or two, yeah, right? We can put it here if you want to, only if necessary. Scope, context, ambitions, right? And I think I talked already about it a bit, right? Good enough. But now I would like to ask you, as we agreed on, with reference to your master plan, just provide one example or two, yeah? What did you consider when drafting your master plan? When it was about context, scope, and ambitions. Just choose one example or two. Whoever likes, just choose one. Have you been all involved in drafting the master plan? No? It was, who was it?
Half of us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Six.
Bob?
Six.
Frank as well? You as well?
Thêm
I
Tú
don't
nữa.
know, six.
Six
You have been involved? No? Who was involved?
Two.
Okay, you have been involved. Okay. Come on, just share a little bit. Because you are traveling, you are talking, just take one thing. What was so specific when you were talking about the context? Well, we have to, was it geography? What is it, Israel just attacked Iran last night, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Is there something?
the context that we are working when developing our ANP and navigation plan is that we consider the regional and navigation plan, the APAC Siblis ANS plan.
Kannst du mir einfach mal so ein paar Punkte aufschreiben? Okay, please. Sorry, I just wanted to ask Jan to help us document.
Yeah. So first, we consider the APAC Siblis ANS plan.
Which one?
You mean which one? Version 4.
Version 4.
Yeah,
Version
version
4.
4.
Version 4? Okay, we look at the
Well,
version 4.
not really version 4. At the time we are building the master plan, it was version 3.
Not
So
version 4.
during the time, during some last month of building the plan, the original plan was upgraded to version 4. So we have to upgrade as well.
Okay, so this is quite new. It's 2024 or was it?
2024.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Let me see. It was approved by APAC on September 2024. So actually,
Very new.
yeah,
Perfect.
that's 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And besides that, we also have to base on our national airport plan.
National Airport Plan.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's quite strange because we don't have the national aviation plan. We only have the national airport plan.
Okay.
Like the plan to build how many airports in the future. So we base on that plan to build our master plan.
Okay. But this decision was taken, so there is a national airport plan, and I think driven by the government or
Yeah,
the respective
well,
ministry
by the
transferred
by the Prime Minister.
by the Prime Minister. Yeah. Okay. And can you share a little bit of the content in terms of just okay, we have to build 10 new airports or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. They have the analysis. They have that, for example, our international airport, the main airport in the north, we will have like 50 passengers per year, 50 million passengers per year by 2030, and 100 million passengers per year by 2050, something like that.
Yeah.
And we have to build like some 2 or 3 domestic airports in some regions in the country. So that's the plan, something like that.
So I remember that you, when we had this exercise, you put this on paper. I remember that. Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
You did that.
Yeah.
And it has been confirmed. So it's in the plan, right?
Yeah,
So you really have to go for it.
yeah, because it's was approved long before our ANS master plan. So actually that's the baseline, so that we have to follow.
Okay. So and there were big numbers. Like how many passengers are you?
Like, okay, I will look again as a plan. Like, for example, for Noi Bai International Airport, by 2030, it should be like 50 million per year.
50 million a year.
Yeah, and by
And how many? This is the which airport?
Noi Bai Airport, the airport in Hanoi.
Yeah.
And for Ho Chi Minh, and for Noi Bai again, by 2050, it should be 100. No, actually, it should be 85 million.
Mm-hmm.
It was at the time we built the INS plan, it was like different, but now they changed the plan again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they built another airport, the second airport for Hanoi. The second airport will have 15 million passengers per year by 2050.
How many did you say?
15.
15, yeah.
By 2050.
By 2050, and by 2030, it should have 5 million per year. So actually for Hanoi alone, the capacity is quite like huge landing, and two airport is like very close to each other. So that's like we have to depend on the national airport plan, something like that. Yeah, and for example, if we want to look at the airport in Ho Chi Minh, probably in the south of Vietnam is the same. For 2030, they plan to the Ho Chi Minh airport will have 50 million passengers per year, and the second 50. And the second Ho Chi Minh airport is for a long time. It will have 25 million per year by 2030. And by 2050, in Ho Chi Minh, they will have two airports, one with 50 million and another with 100 million per year.
And is this like baseline scenario, or do you have like low, high, or is this average?
Well, we don't have like baseline.
Okay, so you just have estimations.
Just one scenario.
Okay,
One
so
number.
do you have an idea what are these figures based on? So is it this could be a strategy in terms of I want to be so attractive that in 20 years from now there will be 100 million people want to come to Vietnam, something like this. What is more than a vision, or is it based on a calculation?
Well, actually, any plan was based on calculation actually, but that calculation based on like really loose calculation. Actually, that calculation only they try to prove that the political will.
Very good. So very good. Okay, very good.
Yeah.
So that's perfect, isn't it? That's perfect, because the six-step method or GAM tells us, do not only consider today, yeah, consider the future to understand what targets to be set, right?
Yeah.
So okay. Shall we take this example, or would we?
Yeah, you can take that.
Okay, so we have the context, APEX Seamless version 4. We have the National Airport Plan, and here is already a huge challenge, right? Okay. Performance ambition, right? So I want to have 100 million people, PAX, yeah, in 20, or let's say, let's go for Hanoi Airport. Sorry, what is the concrete name?
Nội Bài.
No Bac.
Yeah, Nội Bài.
No Bac.
Yeah.
NOYBAI.
So in 2050, no, let's say 2030. It's more closer. In 2030, we want to have 50 million packs
Per year.
per year in Nora, right?
Yeah, correct.
That's a huge number,
Yeah.
but it tells us nothing, right?
No, actually, it tells us something.
Yeah, what?
It tells us that, like, for example, at the moment we have like 25 million per year, right? At the moment, 25 to 30 million per year,
Okay.
and actually it's already near the capacity limit. So it means that we have to build new runway, we have to build new terminal, we have to like optimize our airspace because our airspace is limited, or something like that. And we build another airport, so of course we have to reorganize the TMA, we have to do the ATFM, we have to like implement something like ACDM or everything.
So, you know what I try to pass on, what the trigger is. There must be at the respective level, there should be an ambition, and there should be an objective, right? During step 3, we will set a target, and this is a perfect example. So it's more real. It's not only theory, right? So you want to double the packs within the next
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah, kind of.
5 years.
Yes, and well, actually, our government they just approve strategy for the next 5 years developing plan. So Vietnam will become like developed country by 2045, and by doing that, in our generation, in next 5 years, we have to achieve the development growth, the GDP growth rate of 5% this year, and from next year, we have to achieve at least 10% per year. So we will be the fastest growing country in the world for the next 5 years.
That's some ambitions.
Yes, wow, yeah.
That's perfect. No, that's wonderful. Imagine you would have a prime minister just sleeping all day long. It's okay. So he's pushing.
Yeah.
He has a vision. That's fantastic.
Yes.
That is fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good. The point is just how to realize this idea, right? So, and there should be some questions in terms of okay. For today, we do have 25 million, right, passengers per year. And you said, we are approaching.
Không, cho mình đưa ra bản không, dù làm mình dựa trên tức là ví dụ
Năm 24 là 30 triệu.
chính xác không biết, nhưng mà lúc ngày hôm qua cũng nói rồi giải thích là cách làm thì vẫn đưa ra thằng cao rồi, mình vẫn giữ ở trong tổng là đủ tin cậy hay không thì anh cũng chắc thì chủ yếu là con số cuối cùng đó là
Okay.
Yeah.
All good.
Yeah.
Okay. So I heard you saying that your prime minister or his cabinet, what it is, of course, it sounds, it's a vision. I want to have Vietnam becoming kind of leading country in this region.
Well,
This is good. Yeah, this is one thing.
Yeah.
It's qualitative,
Yeah.
right? It's qualitative. That's a good thing. And then I heard something like GDP.
Yeah.
I heard something like GDP. It's economic driven.
Yeah.
Because if I double the PAX within the next 5 years, this will help my economy. It will boost my economy. This will be contributing to the wealth of my people. That is fantastic, right? Okay, that's cool. Now, that's really good. Okay. But now comes the question. You said today we do have 25 million a year.
Actually, last year we have more than 30.
Already 30?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So, it's important to have the number. Yeah? 25 or 30 makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So 30. And then you have to look into the numbers. What is the quality of my service? Right. Together with the airports. So do you have 30 million people queuing a kilometer, queue in front of the security line, a super congested runway, you have 30 minutes average delay per movement or something like this? Or is it smoothly going? So is it smooth, right? So you were telling me we are approaching our capacity limits.
Yeah.
So that sounds good because you're still accommodating the demand. Do you have big delays for the time being?
Only when some unusual situation like bad weather or something.
Okay,
like that.
so for the time being, no problems.
Yeah.
The airport has no problems. You have enough parking, stop, whatever. Everything is good. Okay. And now, how do you come to the concrete target in terms of I need this and I need that and I need this, right? So is this, and you will remember, smart target must be bounded. Yeah. So time bounded is okay. 5 years. you have a 5 years milestone. That's good. But is it connected to a quality target in terms of, I want to have 50 million packs per year, and the average delay, let's say departure delay, should not exceed...
At the moment, not yet.
Yeah, but you want to talk about KPIs?
Yeah.
Okay. So to accommodate 50 million packs, it's a number, it's okay. Yeah, this was packs 50 million and celebrate and got the red, yeah. But it should go along with a performance-based and therefore the KPI related to performance. So what should be the average departure delay or maximum departure delay? What should be the average or maximum arrival delay? Yeah, and so on and so forth. If you build a second airport, you have already figured out there will be a runway congestion. So this runway will not accommodate so many flights. How many flights, by the way?
You mean like maximum capacity or what?
Now you were talking about moving from 30 million pax
Yeah.
to 50 million pax.
Yeah.
What type of aircraft are you thinking of? Do
They
you need...
they don't say anything. They don't say anything about type of aircraft or anything. They just
So will it be an Airbus 320, you know, with 100 and how many people on it, or will it be a 787 with 240 people on it? So will it be one movement, yeah, one movement for 200 people, or will it be two movements for 200 people?
nothing concrete like that. We have to figure out by ourselves.
But this is important,
Yeah, I know.
yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, this is important. Okay. Nice conversation, right? shall we move on?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, come on, let's have a conversation.
Well, the reason why I tell you that we don't know, like what type of aircraft that we plan to calculate in the number of passengers, because the airport, all the airport will have the 4E runway configuration. So actually they can handle up to like 787. So we don't know actually like they want to focus on the long range or they want to focus on the short range. No, we don't know. We don't have any information. And actually I guess that the guy who do the planning, he also don't care about like what kind of aircraft I will accommodate in my airport actually.
This is why you should involve the stakeholder. This process is all about stakeholder involvement as well. Again, you cannot do it by your own, you have to talk to the people. But this was so nice, Lee, again. I really love you. It's fantastic to have you in this group up again and again. So, everything is driven very much by the concept of operations. We are jumping now, yeah, but just to touch on the various aspects you should have in mind maybe, yeah, on the concept of operation. So you could come up with an idea and step into a conversation with your airport authorities, right, or airport operators, and discuss the concept of operation, which could mean, let's imagine that we will operate only this type of aircraft, or only this connections, or whatever it is, here at this airport. And this airport will be forbidden for small aircraft, or helicopters, or general aviation, private pilots, yeah? Because this must be an airport like Munich. Bam, 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 out, in, full stop. No crossing, no nothing, no VFR, no nothing, right? So, maximum capacity, if possible, max wide bodies, something like this, right? Okay?
Yeah, right.
Okay. And the other airport, because you have to accommodate other airlines, other types of movements of flight as well, should be used mainly or only for this, right? So this could be part of your strategy. Yeah? But this is derived from a concept of operations. How do I want to operate in order to accommodate? Yeah?
For example, like in Hanoi, we will have 2 airports, and probably one airport will accommodate the body and one airport for the short range aircraft, something like that.
Could be,
Yeah.
could be, right?
But actually, because when we build the plan, we don't know anything like. We don't have any detail like how the airport operator will operate the airport.
And so this is my strong advice. Make up your mind and try to understand what is the envisaged concept of operations. Is it the same airport operator for both airports?
No,
No,
no.
that's perfect. Why? Of course, it's a catastrophe. Because if you agree with one on taking only the wide bodies,
Yeah,
he will earn more money.
yeah, correct.
Yeah, he will earn more money
Yeah.
as the one operating the smaller airport or the airport with the smaller airport. So you need to have a financial compensation mechanism or something, a good understanding. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it will be. It's challenging. Yeah, but from an ANSP perspective or maybe a CA perspective, it's very wise to understand the concept of operation. How do I want to operate in order to accommodate? Okay. If you go and say we do the same at both airports, yeah, you will encounter another challenge. Shall we talk about the challenge?
Yeah.
Okay. So you told me that this airport, and this should be considered as well, back to step one context, yeah, right? If these both airports are very close to each other, of course, as an experienced ANSP, you know you have to have standard instrument departures in place. You have a standard arrival rules in place. You should have the ground-based equipment to support landings even in bad weather situations like RNAV, ILS cut 2 at least, and something like this. Okay. Perhaps today it's not an issue, but airlines will challenge you in terms of, come on, don't have me on the holding stack so long. Come on, please come up with a continuous descent operation or continuous climb operation. I want to reduce my fuel burn. Maybe there is something going on in your government. The Prime Minister thinks of the environment and says, wow, we have so many pollution here. Our air is so polluted. We need to do something for the environment, in particular in the big cities, right? So please do something to reduce the emissions, right? Then you have to think about continuous operations. Now imagine you have 2 airports close to each other and you offer all services for all types of aircraft, yeah, from both of these. You will end up in crossing points and you will end up in level offs and whatever and holding stacks and point merge procedures or what it is.
Yeah, we can anticipate it, actually.
You can anticipate. So it will be brutally challenging for you to provide a good service in terms of smooth flow, less delay, and all this stuff. Yeah. Don't be frustrated. It's just an advice to look at it. Yeah. Okay. So I can tell you that from the feeling, from listening to you, you should have a solid review of your airspace, of the Hanoi, let's call it TMA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thinking already about the second airport. You should do a good simulation. What should the airspace look like? Considering a second airport, yeah, based on a, let's say, concept operations 8, yeah, all aircraft, all types, all airports, or only the big air, small air, something. You have maybe 2 or 3 scenarios, right? And then you do a simulation. That's no problem, you can do it next year.
Now, next year the airport will be finished and it will be in operation next year.
Oh, okay, then do it in autumn. Start in August or September this year, right?
Actually, we have two airports, 2 big airports, Long Thành and Tân Sơn Nhất.
That's Ho Chi Minh case. Yeah. 2 airport. Well, but actually with with Ho Chi Minh case, we already have long time to prepare for it. Yeah, the airport was built within last 5 years, and we already have time to do some simulation. We get involved of some foreign company like NAPLU from Airbus to help us.
Okay.
And now actually we have the foreign contractor, and they also do some kind of planning for us. So actually we have better preparation for for the Ho Chi Minh TMA actually.
You did already.
And we did, yeah,
Oh, perfect.
we did a simulation, we did like everything that any ASP must do for the airspace management. Yeah, but for the airport in the north, for the Hanoi TMA, the new airport just pop out of the air and then just like they will be in operation next year. They no, we don't ever have time to run the simulation. So yeah.
Okay, so Ho Chi Minh is good. So Ho Chi Minh is well prepared, but Hanoi not yet. So, but you have a standardized procedure for the new airport in place, because it's your responsibility to design the procedures.
Yeah, we did the flight procedure design. We already done, but just run on the flight procedure design program, and I'm sure that we didn't do the fast time simulation to see how it will work.
You are about to do that, or you did already?
No, we didn't. We
No.
didn't do the fast time simulation. We just built the flight procedure without running the fast time simulation.
Das wäre interessant für den Morgen. Das ist genau das Thema. Ja. Okay.
Well, of course, if Jacques Casanova, if Jacques is here, he will scream out, how can you do it? But yeah, we
So
didn't
would
do
you
it.
be interested that he may participate within the seminar next week?
Sorry?
Would you be interested in Howard Casanova, who's into airspace design, to join us maybe next week for 1 hour?
Well,
have some
but actually, we don't have anything to present to him. That's the case now.
but just to talk, to express your situation.
Okay, no, not
You know?
It was just an idea to
Yeah.
have Olga as an expert. He was a procedure designer himself, and as he presented last time, he's very good. But this, however,
Yeah.
there's no desperate need to do that, right? But it's just to understand what context am I in, what shall I put into the scope, and as you already perfectly did, you have airspace design and you do the fast time simulation. It's in your scope.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is important. Okay. And when we talk about KPIs later on, and you want to connect the KPI to this specific program, we should focus then on helpful KPIs and metrics, right? And we will do that. So we could take this as one example. What could be a suitable KPI for Ho Chi Minh Airport? No, not Ho Chi Minh, maybe Hanoi. Yeah, Hanoi Airport. What could be a suitable KPI? What should I focus on in order to support the accommodation of 50 million pax per year, 2030 onwards? Yeah. And then you should have an idea what delay, for example, what quality am I aiming at? Yeah.
1 second. So we are looking at the KPI. Actually, probably our objective is like to look at the KPI, the one fit for all, like one KPI for all the system. But actually, you are mentioning like you should have KPI for example, for Lola Airport.
Absolutely.
For one airport. So actually,
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this is why I before I said you do something at the various levels, say national level. Yeah. At national level, I always recommend you can do whatever you want. It's not meant. Be free. You do what you think is helpful. Yeah. But at national level, I would always strongly recommend to find or define qualitative targets. Yeah. 50 million is a number, but just qualitative targets. And then go down. And Ho Chi Minh will be very different from Hanoi, without knowing, but I have a feeling. Yeah. So, okay. And if you go local, then you can say, I will look at maybe both airports, because it's so close. Let's talk about the Ho Chi Minh TMA. Yeah. You can go on an individual airport as well. Yeah. You can say, I define KPIs for this airport, I define KPIs for that airport. It depends on the concept of operation that will support the target. if you have no idea and everything is going everywhere, so you know, every type of aircraft, every connection, everything goes as well to Nubok as well to the new one, yeah, then do not distinguish between them. Just say, okay, there's one KPI for both, right? So, and now you may focus on whatever you think is appropriate. And we can, during the course, on Monday, we will go more into detail, yes. We can define, that will be very easy, to go to that. The KPI is talking about capacity, and then you measure in delay, and then you can choose arrival or departure. You can look at runway throughput, yeah. There are many things we can look at, yeah. And then you need to take a wise decision. Because the more you go into detail and the more KPIs you choose, the more data you need.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the question is it useful? Yeah. So I would never, for the time being, at this stage, I would never propose a KPI looking at runway throughput.
Why?
Why? Because you have, this would be just maybe the third or fourth or fifth KPI. You have to have a KPI dealing with delay. Yeah, you have to have a KPI dealing with delay.
I understand.
So average delay per movement,
Yeah.
or arrival delay, or departure delay, or punctuality. Yeah,
Yeah.
We distinguish between capacity and punctuality, right? So this should be the first KPIs you look at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understand.
And once you encounter a problem, yeah, then you should go deeper and understand where's the problem coming from. Is it coming from aerobic congestion? Is it coming from separation, too much separation in the arrival part? What is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But you will get lost when you start with too many KPIs.
Yeah.
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 Okay. So you do whatever you want to do. It's just a conversation we have. Yeah. Start easy. Choose just some KPIs, and then monitor. If everything is good, you're good. Yeah. If you think it's not good, go deeper and try to understand what are the factors. Yeah. What is it? Yeah. Not contributing to the delay factor. So, but this is already, we go to this more in detail. There will be a document and there will be some good recommendations how to define and how to calculate the respective KPIs. And we will do this on Monday morning, I think. There will be the first, more in-depth conversation about that. And on Monday afternoon, we will have Christoph sharing with you all the KPIs we have defined for DFS operations. Okay, this is cool. Yeah? Oh, good. Do you feel okay the way we're doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. It's less theory, it's more, okay. So this is what we did, right? We just talked about performance targets. So this is what we could do on Monday morning, for example. Yeah, you can think of it while hiking through Germany over the weekend. You can think of it. But the idea is really to say, okay, let's define some targets. 50 million per year, that's something. But what should be the quality of service when we have these 50 million people? Passed per year. Okay.
We have okay. Actually, our performance target is 100% safety, and they say something about like safe efficiency, but there's no correct number on how efficiency and it is.
Okay, but you want to drive your system. Let's go to the safety director and experts and heads of SMS and so on. Yeah.
And say like 100%.
Yeah. No. Let's just talk with the safety people. 100% safety.
No,
Lost.
cannot be 100%. We just need to meet the.
Now we can ground all the aircraft and 100% safety.
No, don't get me wrong. No, that's a good. I want to have a safe system. That's a good statement. That's a good statement. I want to have a safe system. And maybe the person who said 100% safety is not really a person who has dig deep into aviation, safety management, something like this. Yeah? It's a good statement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, we want to be safe. It should be a safe system, right?
Yeah.
How do you measure 100% safety?
Actually, not 100% safety, but 100% following the hours.
Now,
Meet the
actually, it's written in paper that 100% safety.
where is that?
Chiến lược phát triển 100% an toàn.
Thực ra cái này trong an toàn là cái incident cái series like
100% an toàn. Làm gì có alert? No alert. 100% safety.
Chứ cái đấy ở đâu
Concrete.
nhưng trong hệ thống quản lý an
Nào,
toàn.
nào.
Không, đấy là 100% đúng, nhưng mà còn những cái sự cố ví dụ mức theo ABCD nó có chắc hẳn là mất an toàn. Nhưng mình sẽ tính theo mức sự cố. Chứ còn là 100% phải làm.
một em nghĩ 100% an toàn là các cái incident
Đấy,
accident like
đúng
A
rồi.
lại B gì đấy nó không có được.
Nó lại số
an toàn thì chúng ta là to như thế là đầu quay rồi.
thế là mình sẽ đảm bảo là không bao giờ xảy ra những cái như của chứ còn việc mà
Còn những cái incident kia là bình thường.
We discussed about what is 100% safety. Is that following the hours or just no accident is the 100% of safety?
So,
no accident, but incident is okay. Incident and no accident, no death.
No one. Yeah.
Pat, you know what we do? On Monday morning, we will spread into groups. Okay? And what I would love to do is, I would love to support you in defining what is 100% safety. Okay? And you will, or you guys, you will develop a small catalog, and you will go home and say, this is my answer to your request. Okay? Yeah? And it could read, and you could provide evidence that this is how the world is doing it, by the way. Right? So you could follow Mr. Hang's recommendation says, no accident. Perhaps it would be even better to say, no accident with fatalities. You see? Okay? So we can build something for you, because there will be an accident. Right? There will be an accident. An aircraft taxiing and running into a construction work. Yeah? And the landing gear is a bit, I don't know. It's an accident.
Yeah.
And this will happen.
Yeah.
Okay? So perhaps it's, forgive me, but perhaps it's better to add something. Yeah?
Yes.
No accident,
With fatality.
and then, yeah? And we can, with a serious injury or something like this, you know, you can play with it. Yeah? But try to define realistic targets, because it must be achievable. Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Right.
You want to be successful. Okay?
Maybe just like no accident from the cartography, classification from B up to A.
Yeah.
There are so many
Something like
options.
that.
She's head of SMS, right? She knows. So you have good ideas, right? Okay. You could also say no accident with fatalities with an ATC contribution.
Yes.
Okay? Because you are the ATM.
Yes.
If someone else is doing it, you have no influence.
Yes. Maybe it's for airlines or airports.
Yeah, you have no influence, right? So why should you add this with ATC or BATM contribution? Because this is what I can stand up for. Yeah? Okay? If you don't have it already, let's do something on Monday. Let's write something, you take it back home, you make it shiny and everything, and then you present, okay? You are an SMS expert, and Ricarda will come on. Ricarda is a former employee of myself, and she's head of safety intelligence, and she will share the, yeah, beautiful.
Jessica.
No, yes. She will share what we have developed over the last decade in terms of safety KPIs. Okay? And perhaps you just take it and think of it. So we did something like no occurrences category A, blah, 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 yeah. And I will give you all the documents you need, okay?
Great.
You will get a great presentation, just look at it. Because this is where you have influence, right? And you talk about severity. You know SMS, you know RAT, risk classification schemes, right? You know A1, A2, A3, A5, B, C, D, E, D, yeah? When it's C, it becomes more interesting for safety, right? When we talk ATM-specific occurrences, yeah? I will provide information for you, what could be a target also here as well. How many outages, availabilities, right? We call this ATM-specific occurrences, and then we do have a classification, what is okay, because things happen. Things happen, yeah? And what is not okay, yeah? Or what is what we want to avoid because of the implication on operations, right? If there's no implication on operations, there's no impact on operations, different story. If there's a huge impact on operations, yeah, we don't want to have that. I don't want to see outages with an impact on operation exceeding more than 1,000 minutes of delay or something like this. You see? It must be an achievable KPI. And the same here. And the same, yeah, let's talk about it, okay? And it must be realistic. So when you talk about, sorry, I love this topic, right? So when you go to Hanoi Airport, huh?
Yeah.
It will be very challenging, but it could be a start to say, we want to accommodate the demand at least the way we do today. Yeah? So for the time being, you're telling me we are reaching capacity limits. Yeah?
Yeah.
You could tell me differently. You can tell me we have an average delay of 12 seconds per movement, or we have a departure delay off, or we have a arrival delay off.
I understand.
Do you have the numbers?
Delay mình có số về delay hiện tại không?
Ms. Lin has the numbers.
Yeah, Miss Ling in Japan. So, not by.
You don't have to look at it. You don't have to look at it now, but you're an ATFM, a lady ATFM, right? Air traffic commander. You know everything about delay in your system.
No, I have a report from Mr. Tang about delay. Mr. Tang is a master.
Right.
Mr. Tang will build the report.
You build a report.
And report to her.
You report to her.
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you get the information from?
I get from the stakeholder airline and AIS machine.
Ah.
So we calculate the time flight in normal situation and delay situation. So I send to her.
Perfect. So this is what I learned. You have a statistic department, you get information from airlines, so from other stakeholders. Everything will be integrated in a report. You get the report. Are you happy with the report?
Yes.
Of course you are happy because it's from Mr. Tang. Are you happy with the report?
Sometimes, because the airline don't follow the CTOS, so
Okay.
we can control the aircraft in the air and have many and many things will affect to the delay of airport in
Of
the
course,
air.
of course. So, but the first thing to understand is, if I ask you, right? I'm your chairman now, or director general. Listen, I'm so happy to have you in my company. Fantastic. I have no idea what I would do without you, right? I'm super interested in what is the quality of arrivals in Ho Chi Minh Airport? Are they all punctual? Punctuality is good? Do they arrive in time all?
Many percent.
I think it's about
Không phụ thuộc vào mét nữa chứ. Mét, đứa nào mét là trả lời.
Actually, in the report, there are some index that in safety side we need to focus on. But right now, the report haven't meet the demand.
Do you have a report with you? Can you show a report on Monday?
Yes.
On Monday? Okay. So, you know, that's not, sorry to put so much pressure on you. Forgive me, yeah? But I can only recommend to prepare yourself. Yeah? To find just a little number of KPIs in order to measure the performance. What you're doing here is you try to push, yeah? You have a clear target. The Vietnam economy should grow, and aviation is a strong contributor, is a very strong contributor. And I want to support the prosperity and the growth and the wealth of my people.
Oh, really? How can you speak like our leader?
No, that's what
the same.
No, that's what I want to have. So I need your support. I need your support. And you need to tell me where are the obstacles. What do I have to do, where I have to look at, where I have to put the money, yeah, that keeps us from achieving this goal. And you, Ms. Lin, you should be able to tell them, oh, we have a departure problem. You know, the delay is going up. But you only know if you have the figures and the numbers. So you have to have a KPI that tells you something about the most important performance aspects of your operations. And then you should go to Mr. Tang. Mr. Tang, please, in this report, I need an information about, so I can monitor the performance. Oh, it's getting worse. What happened? Yeah? And then you can investigate and understand what is the effect, why is it decreasing the performance or something. Okay? Let's find 1 or 2 KPIs for each area. Maybe not more for the beginning, because it will be very cost intensive to get all the numbers. People will be very busy. You need to integrate, you need to understand everything. So let's start easy if you don't have it already. Yeah? And the same for safety. Yeah? What does it mean? Okay.
I'm writing the...
Yeah, okay. Ms. Bach, for Ms. Bach it will be more easy. Yeah, because it will be difficult to derive a KPI from CAM portal, but I have prepared something for you.
Yeah, thank you.
And we can talk about this on Monday. I think we can skip this. Please. Is there something perhaps you have made your mind when you did the investigation for your projects? Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you'd like to share an example of what you did here. You know,
What we did in the application.
Yeah,
we did.
yeah.
We did.
Because this is normally an exercise we would do, but not for this group. It was for the other 2 groups, right? To understand how to build the navigation plan, if I'm involved in that, right? And obviously it has been applied. The idea is just to define the thing you're looking at, whether it's local, it's an air or something, then to understand what are my strengths here, and I should focus, what are my weaknesses, I should weaken the weakness, and so on and so forth.
Well, actually, do you want me to send you the translation of our part about SWOT analysis in our company? Actually, we have it here. We have it here.
Yeah, you can do that, and then you can share with the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will. How can I send this part to you?
Is it a translation?
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
so-
It was
so it's
a
not
translation.
Du bist auch drauf, wie wenn du.
Ja, ich will das hier. Zack, und dann
I will send you by email, right?
Người ta
Mấy chị chọn những cái chính.
OFDI.
So,
Yeah.
can you take this? Osman@outlook.com.
Osman.
I can type it in.
Okay.
Where is the? Oh, okay. Yeah. Where is the at? Over there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will send you.
It's not official translation actually, for sure.
It doesn't matter. It's just to understand a little bit. So you share your knowledge and apply the method. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's perfect. We do this. We take our time now. We do a 10 minutes break.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until I have it and I can bring it up. Will you join Mr. Han for a cigarette maybe? And I take care of the email. Perhaps to try to get some fresh air. Yeah.
Fresh air is good.
And Anne, are you ready for a small activation exercise? Yeah. When you come back over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
You will have an idea.
I will think about it.
Perfect. Let's have a break.
Lại chơi đập nhau ấy. Ai chơi để vòng quanh đi. Một người là mặt trăng, một người là vệ tinh. Đi cho đã.
I'm thinking about the game that you gave us about the moon.
The man, the moon,
The moon and the satellite last time.
and the satellite.
You want to do it
Quá
again?
trời rồi á.
Không quan trọng đấy.
You want to do it again?
It's okay.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Okay. Then do it. We do
Hôm
this.
qua có nói đùa với thầy là tối rồi mình liên quan đến tham dự
Cái trò này mà chia nhóm với nhau như vậy. Trên cái phòng
Did you send already?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Again, it's an introduction, right? Or
Yeah. I haven't watched
trên cái
it.
phòng chỗ học nhóm trên cái nhóm ở trên DMS
Also das soll ja
bên kia kìa.
die Idee ist ja immer, Sie nehmen das
Cái trò này mà chia hai nhóm
À, chơi cờ caro.
Được.
Chơi cờ caro.
Ok.
Nhưng mà cái trò đấy tên là cái gì quên rồi đó.
Cứ thấy nói là caro thôi.
Trò gì quên rồi.
Thì vẫn nói là chơi cờ caro ấy. Nhưng mà không thấy nói bằng caro. Trò chơi là mình đứng ở chỗ nào mình cũng thắng ấy.
Chị nhớ lần trước mình
Đưa chị nhớ.
Ja, ja.
Sie haben den Plan entwickelt und jetzt hat er gesagt, in Gesetzen, was das gar nicht in den verantwortlich, dann noch im Gesetz so zu ändern, dass das wieder Konstitution.
Ja, das kann ich. Nee, das kann ich auch. Da war ich auch mal. Ach, das kann ich auch. Ganz klar. Das hat bestimmt schon umgekehrt. Das war einfach nur noch ein neuer Grad. Das ist ja alles so überraschend. Ja, du machst das inhaltlich, also ich habe mal Politik studiert, aber da habe ich eine Idee, dass es eine Herausforderung ist, Politik in Verwaltung zu setzen. Ja? Und die Verwaltung geht natürlich über Gesetze. Ja? Das heißt, du gibst bottom-up eine Antwort, wie könnte man dieses politische Ziel so in Verwaltung umsetzen, dass es bei uns so materialisiert, weil damit können wir arbeiten. Ja? Oder das trägt dieses Interesse. Weil ich musste das auch vortragen in diese ministeriellen Gremien. Und da haben die keine Interesse. Ich war zu unerfahren, ich war 20 Jahre in dem Bereich. Und dann der Planungsleiter da denkt, oh, das ist mal die nächste Sitzung, und dann tut mir leid, das ist schon eine parlamentarische Raum zu begeben. Und das sage ich auch ohne Namen, das ist so, aber das ist scheiße. Ja, und dann habe ich mich dann mit zwei Leuten unterhalten, weil der war nicht sehr beliebt, der Abteilungsleiter, und da gab es über den Verfahrensleiter recht. Und der meinte, er kennt sich nicht aus. Das ist ja ein Änderungsantrag der Fraktion, die machen die erste, zweite Lesung. Und dann bin ich tatsächlich auf dem Kopfstadtabend, ich wusste nicht, dass es FDP ist, aber der kennst du ja, oft ja. So. Und die ticken alle gleich, ja. Gucken, wer du bist du irgendwie wichtig, dann wollen sie mit dir fett sein, bist du unwichtig, dann haben sie keine Zeit für dich, ja. Und gibt es irgendwas, womit sie sich profilieren können, ein Stück weit, ne? Oder einbringen können, dass sie keine Idee haben. Und dann gehst du hin und sagst, hallo, und sagst, was weiß ich, ja, genau, und dann checken sie erstmal, wer du bist.
Genau, da musst du jetzt mal sagen, dass du eine gute Position hast.
Das muss einfach nur für dich interessant sein. Du sagst, ach ja, ich bin gerade an dem und dem Thema dran, am besten hat das noch einen Bezug zum Koalitionsvertrag. Und da macht sich, das war SPD geführt, das Haus, die waren FDP. Und dann sagst du, ja, und die haben da irgendwie, tun die sich da, aha, was ist denn das? Und so, ja, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wenn 12 das so, würde ich gerne irgendwie unterstützen bei einem Änderungsantrag. Ja, dann schreiben sie doch mal was. Dann formulierst du einen Änderungsantrag der Fraktion, gibst den in das Büro ein. Und dann sagen die, okay, das finden wir gut. Ne? Und dann wirst du eingeladen und dann bist du dann im Parlament unten in den Sitzungssälen, wo die Ausschüsse tagen, das war ein Verkehrsausschuss. Und dann bist du die Auskunftsperson, sitzt in zweiter Reihe, die Jungs sitzen da vorne. Ne? Und dann ja, da habe ich also noch, da hat hier die FDP noch einen Eindruck, ja. Ja, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, aha. Ja, was ist da genau der erste Bereich? Warum wollen wir das machen? Ja, okay. Dann machen die irgendwie komplett. Ja, aber das ist. Und das, ja, das macht Spaß. Could be that I do have some issues here to receive emails, but I'm not sure. Did you send it?
Wait.
Oh, not yet.
You can also send it to me if you have some issues.
Yeah. No, no, it's Yeah, sure.
Sean, I don't have, I haven't sent you email before.
You cannot?
Do you have the email address of Jean? I will.
You
No, I mean, I want to send to Jean too, so can I have his email address? Okay, I have it. I'm sure.
Invitation.
I did. Did you receive it?
Check. No.
It should have been sent.
Gửi cái gì hả? Gửi cái bản của VNINP hả Cương?
Của cái chiến lược phát triển ấy, cái chiến lược 2045 mà
Chị Phượng đang dự thảo à?
Ừ.
Sao không gửi cái hiện tại đi? Cái đấy mới đang dự thảo đã được approve đâu.
Nhưng vấn đề là cái đấy không đủ, cái đang hiện tại không đủ suốt, cái hiện tại chỉ điểm mạnh điểm yếu thôi.
Cái chị
thì
Phượng mới đủ suốt.
thì nó đang là dự thảo cái đấy.
Thì con nói là nó chỉ là dự thảo thôi.
And you send it to Jens? Huh?
Yeah, I guess that to you. Postman software. Yeah.
Perhaps another one? I do have so many email addresses.
Is this original? Postman software.
At outlook.com. Can you forward it and take another email address?
Yeah, yeah. You can forward.
Okay. Forward here. Okay. Two, where is it? Here. And the address where?
Oh, wait,
Yeah,
one
that's it.
second. Wait one second. Sorry, I just turned on the Vietnamese.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you.
It's here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Minus?
Minus.
Minus? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and send?
Yeah. Oh, they said that my they said that Osman Safan outlook.com doesn't work. Probably I will restart it.
This doesn't work?
No, the previous email didn't send you something wrong.
So the first one does not?
Yeah, the first one did not.
Okay.
So probably but this yeah, that's expired.
Okay, good. Wonderful. Yeah, take a break as well.
Yeah.
Cái tỷ lệ đúng giờ là bây giờ của Việt Nam lấy theo cái con số gì thành USD à?
Em dùng cái điện văn hạ cánh với khởi hành
Ok,
là
đến là extra đúng không?
actual đấy. Trong cái tức là trong cái kế hoạch bay nó có cái giờ SBS giờ EET đấy, là cái giờ dự kiến bay của chuyến bay ấy. Đấy thì em sẽ dựa vào cái giờ, có cái giờ đấy nhá, ví dụ 1 tiếng 30 phút nhá, thì em dựa vào cái giờ cất cánh thực tế, cái giờ trong điện văn departure ấy, và điện văn arrival ấy, thì em trừ 2 giờ đi xem nó bay thực tế nó mất bao lâu. Đấy thì nếu mà dài hơn cái dự kiến thì có thể xem xét đến là delay. Nhưng mà đây nó có nhiều cái, tức là mình phải tính cả thời gian lăn rồi thời gian chậm trễ các thứ ấy. Thì nếu mà tốt nhất ấy, thì là mình lấy được cái dữ liệu radar ấy, thì là cái radar check ấy, thì là cái thời gian đấy là chuẩn nhất, và mình biết ngay là cái chuyến đấy nó có delay không, hay là nó bị bay chậm, hay là nó vector, hoặc là nó ở đường nó việc gì đấy nó bay vòng chẳng hạn. Còn không thì mình sẽ phải xem từng chuyến một. Bây giờ bọn em lại phải những cái chuyến đấy lại phải vào cái, đúng rồi, vào Flyrada 24 check lại cái chuyến đấy, ngày đấy nó bay như thế nào.
Nếu thế bây giờ bọn anh chia sẻ được điều chỉnh tôi đi từ hệ thống hiện ra.
Đúng rồi.
Thì em lấy sâu hơn là gì đâu là vấn đề cái bản sâu luôn nhanh hơn.
Đúng rồi. Cái đấy bọn em nó tức là nó thống kê rất nhanh, thay vì là ông phải tự xem. Đúng rồi. Ví dụ như là cái mạch bay của nó nhá, thì cứ anh nhìn, ví dụ anh trồng hết cái đấy lên được đúng không? Trồng lên thì nó chỉ có mạch bay thôi. Thì là những cái chuyến nào mà bay lệch đấy là có vấn đề, thì là mình sẽ soi được ngay là như thế. Chứ còn bây giờ em phải ngồi soi từng chuyến một, rất mất thời gian.
3 days. Có thống kê chuyến 2 days. Cất kèm đúng giờ.
Có chứ.
Cất đúng giờ thì sao giờ?
Nó slot là cái quay của nó.
Slot chính là UT đúng không?
Slot là cái slot cục hàng không cung cấp.
Slot thì nó giờ vào đấy phát UT nữa.
Không, tức là hãng nó sẽ có một cái kế hoạch bay ngày của nó. Đấy, và kế hoạch bay ngày của nó sẽ phải dựa vào cái slot cung cấp để nó làm một cái kế hoạch bay là mẹ có 12 chuyến, 15 chuyến.
Cái giờ nó anh nhìn thấy chỉ có cái giờ UT thôi.
Đúng không? Mình chỉ
Giờ thì đâu chính xác đâu.
Không, cái giờ đấy là chính xác như anh. Giờ đấy là
cấp cho nó cái UT.
Okay, no problem, no problem.
đúng rồi.
Là cấp UT có thể là lệch so với tầm UT.
Đúng rồi, mình đấy, những cái đấy mình phải thống kê. Là ông LPT của ông ấy là 10 giờ nhưng mà ông ấy có
UT rồi nó bên hệ thống này không có đâu.
Không có.
Sau thì tí sáng không có này.
Đúng rồi, không có. Chỉ có giờ take off thôi. Đấy thì bây giờ bọn em hay phải là trừ đi cái giờ taxi trung bình ấy. Đúng rồi, nó phải dữ liệu nó phải liền mạch như thế. Từ lúc ông
Hoàn toàn mình có thể lấy ngược tất cả.
Đấy, bây giờ mục tiêu của các sếp bây giờ là dữ liệu nó phải liền mạch từ lúc lập kế hoạch của mùa. Đấy, xong đến ngày, xong rồi đến trong ngày hôm đấy thì những dữ liệu thay đổi kế hoạch như thế nào là phải có. Đẩy nổ như thế nào, rồi bay lên như thế nào, hạ cánh như thế nào. Thì muốn làm KPI là phải những cái dữ liệu đấy phải có hết.
KPI này là bài toán dữ liệu nữa.
Đúng rồi, bài toán dữ liệu là rất lớn.
Dữ liệu không được thì không tính được gì đâu.
Đúng rồi.
Thực ra
là nơi sinh
vâng.
cái thằng cái giờ đổi giờ không cả nó cứ ép mình mãi không giờ asat này nó tiếp là không đưa mình phải một là đẹp đẽ, hai hệ thống mình có hệ thống mình thì mãi sau phát hiện ra là cái giờ ti sát cuối cùng mà hệ thống gửi đi của chúng đây này thì giờ đấy chính là giờ asat, đúng còn mình chọn startup.
Thực ra bây giờ
chọn startup nhưng mà nó không ra ha.
Thực ra cái KPI là cái mảng bây giờ thiếu dữ liệu nhất chính là cái mảng ATS. Chứ còn những cái mảng sau này
chính là mảng của ông còn có chạy một cái gì đó rồi, tức là kiểu
những
sơ bộ
cái mà đẻ ra sau ấy, những cái safety hoặc là cái APFM hoặc cái AS thì cái hệ thống của nó thì lúc đấy rồi là người ta cũng phần nào người ta quan tâm rồi, nhưng mà cái ATS ngày xưa đến giờ không quan tâm đến cái KPI,
ví dụ
chỉ quan tâm đến
không lưu.
Đúng rồi, chỉ quan tâm đến nào, chỉ quan tâm đến an toàn thôi.
ALOS thì có rồi, những cái đấy đo thường xuyên rồi.
Nhưng mà bây giờ đây, ví dụ như mình điều hành tàu bay đấy nó có cái mục tiêu chất lượng của mình là phải cho cái tàu bay đấy nó bay đúng theo kế hoạch của nó, chứ không phải là ông bay 1 tiếng mà ông điều hành nó thành 1 tiếng 40 phút. Đấy là chất lượng của ông cung cấp là kém, ông dẫn đường nó kém. Chứ còn chưa nói uy hiếp an toàn thì không nói gì rồi.
Tức là thiếu hiệu quả.
Đúng rồi, ví dụ như là ông nó dự kiến là hết bao nhiêu tấn dầu nhưng ông dẫn dắt lòng vòng, xong rồi ông không cho nó hạ độ cao liên tục, không cho lên mực bay tối ưu thì là nó tốn dầu, đấy là chất lượng của kém. Đấy, mà tất cả những dữ liệu đấy là phải có dữ liệu radar hoạt động thực tế của tàu bay rồi, mình không có.
Rồi theo này tôi ra
Đúng rồi. Khi mà không có, hoặc là nhá, cái dữ liệu điều hành ạ, nó người nhân viên ông cứ phải đẩy huấn lệnh liên tục cho tàu bay.
Đúng rồi.
Đúng không?
Mà trong cái đó bây giờ ví dụ giả sử là đấy như anh không bạn bây giờ shift list thì mày giảm được 15 giây liên lạc thoại chẳng hạn.
Tức là ông
bây giờ thêm 15 giây không phải của ông đâu, còn 15 giây của